Welcome, I'm Martina, your trusty guide through the pages of Camp Half-Blood and beyond. Grab your camp shirts, ready your weapons, and let's embark on this epic adventure together. This is Delphi Dispatches. Welcome back, everybody. Just a heads up, this is gonna be a short episode because it's just gonna be a celebration of the 1-year anniversary of the podcast. And I have a lot to do, so I didn't manage to whip up a whole episode, but more on that in a second. A year ago, I started this podcast to have an excuse to talk about the Percy Jackson series and books and survive the winter in Poland. And on the 11th of December 2023, the first episode / the trailer was released. It has developed into one of my favorite hobbies. And even though it is quite some work for one person, I still really enjoy doing it, even though I haven't done a lot of it in the last few months. But since I had a lot of things and big life changes over the past few months, the podcast is not very up to date, I would say. It is still quite stressful right now since exam season is coming up, but here is my plan on how I'm moving forward with the podcast. Starting in the new year, I want to start covering the Sea of Monsters, so we will be caught up at least when the second season comes out. I also want to try a bit of a different approach to summarizing the chapters, which I'm still working out. In February, I'm going to London to see the Lightning Thief musical, and after I'm done covering the second book, I want to make a special episode or two about the musical itself. For now, I just wanted to post this little episode as a sort of 1-year anniversary and stuff, and also to bring you the news that we missed in the time the podcast was on hiatus. Also, maybe the audio quality is quite different than the last time because I'm in my dorm and it is quite echoey in here. I tried my best, but let's see what I can turn out with editing. Also, I wanted to mention two of my personal highlights of this year on having a podcast. One of them being that I got tagged in a post of the Jam meme page, so thank you, Robert. It is an honor that you even know I exist. And the second one was a few, I don't know, was it weeks or months ago? Time is relative. I got a notification that Jesse Bernstein was following the Instagram account of the podcast. If you don't know who that is, Jesse Bernstein is the original guy who reads the audiobooks of the Percy Jackson books. So like the original 5 and the new ones that are coming out right now. I don't think he did the Heroes of Olympus books, but still iconic. So thank you also to him. Delphi Dispatches. And I'd say we're just gonna move right on into the news because, like I said, we missed a lot in those, I think, 3-4 months I was absent. And production on the second season is coming along, so it's not gonna be much longer until they wrap. I think sometime in January or beginning of February we'll wrap, so we're gonna have our second season soon. I'm so excited. But yeah, let's start with some book news. In the time that I was absent, a few books came out, one of them being Wrath of the Triple Goddess, which is the second book of the Percy Jackson Senior Year Adventures, which I don't know if it's the official title, but I think Rick called it like that in one of his blog posts, and I'm still not done reading it. Like, university is biting my ass, so I did not have time to read it. I think I'm like at chapter 4 right now. I had to wait a month to get it, like I got it like in the end of October, and it's the beginning of December when I record this. Anyway. Also, the Percy Jackson cookbook came out. I got it from a few of my friends as a birthday present, and I will probably make some things from it and post them on the Instagram, so check out there if I post any like cooking reels. It's gonna be difficult for me to film actually like cooking reels because I have like a community kitchen here in the dormitory and not a personal one, but maybe I will film something over the Christmas break at home. We'll see. Then we got a few announcements. Oh no, one more book came out. It's the House of Hades graphic novel came out. Maybe I will at some point go to the local library and check out the graphic novels because they have them. That's gonna be a good thing for the podcast. And some book-related news are we got confirmed that there will be a sequel to The Sun and the Star. I'm so excited. I have no idea where the story is going. I mean, I personally don't know if they even needed a sequel, but I'm here for Solangelo, so give me all the stories. But we don't know any like name of the book or release dates. More infos on that will probably come in the new year. And Rick also confirmed on his blog that the third Percy Jackson senior year adventure book will not come out in 2025. I don't know why. No, actually, I do know why he wrote it in the blog, because he has a lot of stuff to do, like with the sequel to The Sun and the Star and the series and other projects he's working on, so I can understand that. Then other books, the RRP books, two of them came out recently. One of them is Pahua and the Dragon's Secret by Laurie M. Lee, and the second one is The Dark Becomes Her by Judy Eileen. And we also got the date confirmed. I actually don't know if I already talked about this because I knew that it was coming out in February. Anyway, the second book of Satani Patel, A Touch of Blood, will be out in 25th of February. There was an event, a big event, the D23 Expo in Brazil. Percy Jackson didn't have a single event, like a single panel, but they were part of the Disney Plus panel. And there we got some really cool news. We got a video call from the trio and Rick because they're filming currently, so they couldn't come to Brazil. More on that in a second. As well as the next part, we got the official Athena casting. I have a whole section of casting, so just you wait. And the third one was they had a lot of backdrops and photo ops and some sort of maze photo drop in the area of the expo. They looked so cool. There was some speculation that The King Chronicles is in development at Disney Plus. I only found one source saying this, so I'm not 100% sure if it's true. And I'll keep an eye out on news regarding that. And as of yesterday of recording this, we got a Hermes comeback confirmation. In an interview for an upcoming movie, Lin-Manuel Miranda confirmed that he will return for season 2 as Hermes, and he already has filmed his parts. I also have some not so good news, I guess, or important news regarding the fandom. I'm not very active on social media, especially these last few months, so I just had a lot of other things on my plate. So I didn't really encounter any of these problematic fan behaviors myself, but I read some comments about it and I just wanted to share it. On Twitter or X or whatever you want to call that website, a fellow Percy Jackson fan called Afterglow PGO, or Amanda, posted a really good list called PGO Fandom Do's and Don'ts, which is a really good chart to see. Others have added to it, and even Becky reposted and commented on it, so I think it's a good source. I will try to remember to, I think I already reposted it, but I will also try to share it again in my story when this episode comes out. Speaking of social media, I also recently made a Blue Sky account for the podcast, and I'm probably also going to use it privately because I can't deal with another social media platform for myself. And actually I don't know what my username is. Oh yeah, the user is Delphi-dispatches.bluesky.social. So you're gonna find me over there. I think the only thing I posted was a picture of me in my Rachel cosplay from Vienna Comic Con. But I'm also gonna post the cosplay stuff on the Instagram for the podcast, so it's also over there. Now, I think the most exciting parts, the casting news we got. I'm gonna talk about them, I think, chronologically as we found them out. The first one is Timothy Simmons, who is going to play Tantalus. His previous works included Veep, Candy, Looking for Alaska, Station 11, Nobody Wants This, Don't Worry Darling, The Interview, Christine, and many more. I can't say I've seen any of those. I think so. I'm pretty sure. I heard from people who have seen at least Veep that he's gonna be very good in this role. And I believe those people. And the next one is a big one. It's none other than our Daughter of Zeus, Thalia Grace. Wait, are they calling her Thalia or Talia now? I forgot again how they're calling her in the series. Regardless, this role is going to be played by Tamara Smart, who previously worked on Resident Evil, where she actually played the daughter of Lance Reddick's character. So she's now going to play again the daughter of Lance Reddick's character on that more later. She also was in The Worst Witch, Artemis Fowl, and A Babysitter's Guide to Monster Hunting. And some additional infos I found, it was announced on the release day of Wrath of the Triple Goddess, and shortly before there was a video of Aryan jokingly introducing a tree as Thalia, and it was just perfect, but I saw it like the other way around. And since she's a British actress, she will also be keeping her accent as part of the role. Rick said that punk was born in the UK, and since Thalia is rocking the punk aesthetic in the books, that fits perfectly. I'm gonna be so interested in how it's all gonna work, and I'm so excited. I also think it's strange that some people thought we wouldn't get a casting announcement for Thalia, but rather it be a surprise at the end of the season. In the books, we see her in Percy's dreams and flashbacks from Annabeth's story, so yeah, I'm so excited. And then the next one is the one I said was announced at D23 Brazil. It's Athena, and she's going to be played by Andra Day, who is probably most well known as an R&B singer, but acting-wise, she played Billie Holiday in The United States vs. Billie Holiday, where she was even nominated for an Oscar. I mean, wow. I really love the video they put of her on Insta when she was introducing herself. It's the same video they showed the people at D23. My thoughts on her: I love her outfit. It is quite yellow, but we don't even know if she is going to wear this exact one in the show, and how the color grading will look and all this stuff. I saw a post that, I don't know who posted it, but someone took 3 shots from season 1 with Walker in his green flannel, and the color looked different in each photo depending on the lighting and the grading and stuff, so I'm not worried about the yellow. Also, the gold laurel hair accessories she has look so cool. I want them. And I guess there will also be some extra scenes with her because she only appears in a dream/vision of Annabeth in book 2. So we'll see. We have surprising news. We also have a recasting of Zeus already. The actor Courtney B. Vance will replacing late Lance Reddick as the King of the Gods. And yeah, he talked very lovingly about replacing and honoring Lance Reddick, and I'm sure he will. And I'm also curious to see where they will include Zeus, since he isn't technically in the second book. I'm so excited to see all the little changes or additions they're gonna make again. Yeah, Courtney B. Vance is also known for his work in The Hunt for Red October, The Preacher's Wife, The Adventures of Huck Finn, Law and Order: Criminal Intent, and Lovecraft County, among others. And the last one is actually an unknown role. The actress Sage Linden is reportedly going to join the cast. We don't know her exact role. According to a post from Becky, she's probably not going to be Cersei, but she could be either Allison, the mystery new camper whose casting call we heard about a few months ago, or maybe Selena, or any other demigod. Maybe she's Katie Gardner, who knows? Some of her previous works include The Next Step and Harlan Coben's Shelter. And speaking of casting, I know I already talked about Kristen Schaal being one of the Grey Sisters, but I just recently rewatched all of Gravity Falls, binged it all the way through, and some extra stuff and behind the scenes stuff because of the hype that was around the Book of Bill coming out in summer. And I realized, because I didn't know this before, the voice she does for Mabel is her actual voice. I thought it was she just did the voice for the recordings, but I'm so excited to see this in the show. You can't imagine how I'm just so full because I love people with unique voices. Then we have some teasers, pictures. Well, the pictures were taken stills from the video we got. One of them was I don't know, it was a fan or someone filmed this video. It was where they were filming a scene where Tyson was carrying Percy and Annabeth was talking him into letting Percy down, and they were getting into the Grey Sisters taxi. Also, the video call at D23 Brazil was from the set of the big house interior with a model of the chariot track on the table behind them. And then we have a video with Percy and Clarice fighting on the beach with some a Viking and other characters in the background. And maybe so either they are going to replace the Confederate soldiers from book 2, or they are on Calypso's island for some reason, and those people were just recently guinea pigs. For people who have not read this second book, and I'm talking about this, they're gonna be so confused. And we also get a few frames of the chariot race, where two people slashing sword at each other. One of the chariots is clearly the Poseidon cabin chariot, and the second one could be any of the other chariots. I didn't really match any of the descriptions of the book. So what do you think is the second chariot we saw? Then there were 3 really cool interviews I read. They're too long to rehash them, and very detailed and professional, I say. So I'm just gonna recommend them if you want to read more about the behind the scenes of the Percy Jackson books and show. The first one is actually a piece. I think he wrote it himself, by Rick, on the website of the Met. It is called The Birth of a Hero, where Rick talks about how the Met played a role in him coming up with the story of Percy. And it was released on the 11th of June. I'm gonna try to remember to link all those in the story when this episode releases. The next one is with VFX supervisor Eric Henry and about building the world of Percy Jackson. It's on awn.com from the 28th of October. And the last is with composer Bear McCreary, who talks with Gillian Blum about Annabeth's full musical theme that we have not heard yet and will probably hear in season 2. That interview is on the Direct and is from the 1st of December 2024. Then regarding awards, I hope I'm not repeating any awards or forgetting any major ones. The first one we got the results from, I mentioned in the last episode, I think, was won the Ignite Awards, where The Sun and the Star was nominated. They did not win in their category, but, it's a fire book, so we're not sad about it. And the 2024 AAFCA TV honors, we talked about that the Legacy Award is going to Clint Turman, who's playing Chiron. Then also the Family, Film and TV Awards, where Percy Jackson was nominated in 2 categories, one for Best Ensemble TV Series and one where Walker was nominated for Outstanding Actor in TV Series. Also, no wins in both categories. Actually, another show won. It was Young Sheldon in both categories. Then PGO is nominated as Best Fantasy TV Series in the Saturn Awards. They will be held on the 2nd of February 2025. And also the Leo Awards, which were in July. There we had 2 nominations, one for Best Makeup in a Dramatic Series, and one for Best Stunt Coordination in a Motion Picture Dramatic Series. Okay, so that was the news and stuff and updates we got for this one. Like I said, it's gonna be a shorter one, so let's hop right on into Trivia Trials. So the answers for last episode's questions. The first question was, when was the inaugural San Diego Comic-Con held? It was March 21st, 1970, so 45 years ago, and back then it had the name San Diego Golden State Comic Minicon. And the second question was, how is the statue of Gabe, aka the poker player, described? And the art style was called Super Ugly New Realism. Now on to this episode's questions. You have time until probably next year, she says in December, until the next episode drops. So the first question is, for which movie did Lin-Manuel Miranda recently make the music? It ties in with the interview I was talking about earlier. And the second question is, name at least one song by Andra Day. And I guarantee you know at least one of them. So next up, we have mythical music. And since we had a question about Andra Day music, I'm not going to include a song this time, but next time. This time, we're gonna include another song by Dior, who was playing Clarice, because in the meantime, she released another song, and this song is called God's Favorite. And that concludes another adventure with Delphi Dispatches. Thank you, demigods, for joining me on today's quest. Please consider subscribing to the podcast. And if you want to connect with me on Instagram, just follow @Delphi_Dispatches_pod for updates in the fun community. This is Martina, signing off until next time. And remember, the real world is where the monsters are.